Okay, so hello everyone, I welcome you to today's video. As you have seen, it is written what is moksha or moksha. So we are going to learn what is moksha. Okay, now recently, as we have seen, so many trending sadgurus or sadhus or babas, Indian babas are trending in the Mahakumbh Mela 2025, right? And as you have seen, there is one Baba which is IIT Baba, as we popularly known as IIT Baba. So there are certain words that he has said that moksha, he is here to attain moksha. He has let off entire attachments and all his belongings, and he is on the path to attain the moksha. Now people are just wondering what is moksha actually, right? We want to know what is he saying and what is he referring to. So that's why this video I'm going to explain clearly and shortly what is moksha and why should we attain moksha and why should we leave all our entire belongings just to attain this moksha. How powerful is moksha? So let us begin. So first of all, what is moksha? What is the origin of moksha? See, the term moksha and moksha, it originates from Sanskrit, and it is the key concept from Indian religions, not only Hinduism but also some other religions like Buddhism and Jainism. So moksha is basically originating from the Sanskrit, and the key concept is Indian religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. It refers to the liberation, release, or freedom from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. See, as we know, in our life, we are in the cycle of life, right? We first have the birth, we are born, then we have death, and again we are reborn, which is popularly perceived, pertained in the Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhism, that there is rebirth concept. When we die, we again get reborn, and this cycle continues. So this cycle is called the cycle of life. But in in Indian religions, it is said that when we try to attain the moksha, we are actually getting rid of this cycle. We get out of this life cycle, and we get total liberation, release of freedom. So, which is known as samsara. So, the only concept of moksha is that we have the eternal bliss, spiritual enlightenment, and unity with the divine and universal consciousness. The entire thing, what is it? This is a universe. And what are we? We are souls. So, when we have the consciousness of what the universe is and what we are, we have believed to have got this spiritual enlightenment and eternal bliss. Okay, so that is why it is believed that the people who wants to attain the moksha are actually getting rid of the entire mos or the entire belongings which are actually materialistic objects or creation. So we are craving for things like money, we are craving for things like objects like cars, wealth, right, or loved ones. This entire things, it is believed that these are most, right, and the higher state of consequences, or if you want more higher thing than that you want to achieve in life, then that is the spiritual enlightenment and your universal consciousness, which is above all these things that we crave for, are actually believed to be some most or objects, materialistic objects. Now moksha is the only way how we can get this eternal bliss. Now there are some key concepts or aspects of moksha in Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism. In Hinduism, the moksha is believed to be the liberation from karma, that is the law of cause and effect, which is known as samsara. See, it is believed that in Hinduism, we have the law cause, that is the karma. The things we do is the things we get in return, right? So if you do some bad things right now, you will get to face your karma in the next life, or either in this life in some different time. So the in Hinduism, it is believed that when we get to attain the moksha, we are getting rid of this karma cycle, because we attain the self-realization, the devotion to God, and the spiritual practices can help us in attaining that, like meditation, yoga, and knowledge. So it is often associated with merging with the Brahman society, the ultimate reality and the universal soul. Okay, so Hinduism says that we have the karma cycle in our life. The the things that we do in our past life, the bad things that we do, we have to face it in this life. And if we do bad thing in our life in this life, then we have to again face our karma in the next life. So this cycle is repeating and going on, right? And the only way to get rid of this karma cycle is to attain the moksha, that is the moksha, right? So that is the concept in Hinduism. Now let us go to the Buddhism. What does Buddhism says about moksha? See, moksha is closely related to nirvana according to Buddhism. It is the cessation of suffering and the extinguishing of desires and ignorance. Like in Buddhism, it is said that all the sufferings that we are having, the pain that we are having in life, is because of the desires. Some desires like desires for the materialistic world, desires for the wealth, desires for the health, desires for people that we love. And when we get rid of all these desires and we focus on attaining the moksha, then we are getting out of this suffering. So this can be achieved by following the eightfold, that is the true nature of reality, by practicing emptiness or impermanence. And also now going to the Jainism, we have to know what does Jainism says. In Jainism, it says that moksha is the state where the soul becomes pure and free from all karmic impurities. It is achieved by following a strict path of asceticism, non-violence, and self-discipline. So, moksha is the state where our soul becomes free from all our karmic impurities. The bad things that we do in our past life, we are going to face in this life. And if we do some bad karma in this life, then we are going to face it in the next life also. So, this is what the Jainism defines what moksha is, and it can be achieved by following a strict path like asceticism, non-violence, and self-discipline. Now we have learned what does this three Indian religion says about the moksha or samsara, that is the Jainism, Buddhism, and Hinduism. Now how can moksha be attained if someone wants to get or attain? The moksha can be attained from following four different paths. Like first one is knowledge, second one is devotion, third one is actions, and fourth one is meditation. So first, true knowledge or jnana, understanding the self as distinct from the physical body and realizing its unity with the ultimate reality. So it is saying that through knowledge, we have to understand ourselves, that we are distinct from the physical body. See, we have a body, right? This body is just a physical body. And one day this is going to get decay and we are going to die. When we get get to die, our body decays and it vanishes, right? But the only remaining is our soul, because the soul is inside the body. But when the body gets decomposed, but our soul is transformed to another life, right? So we have to get that knowledge that we are different from our physical body. We are not a body, we are souls that are inside this physical form of body, which is one day going to get swollen, and it is going to vanish, right? And second one is devotion. See, bhakti or pray. Why do we pray? Why do we do bhakti? This is surrendering to the worship of personal deity. There is someone, right? There is someone who created this universe. There is someone who created us. There is someone who is doing all the things that are happening in our life, right? We cannot say that there is no one above us, right? So through this form of bhakti and devotion, we are actually surrendering to our higher form, that is worshipping our personal deity, right? Everyone has different gods. Sikhs have Vaheguru, Buddhism have Buddha, Gautam Buddha, and Hindus have our different gods, right? Shiva is there, Vishnu is there, Lord Krishna is there. So these are our personal deities whom we surrender ourselves because we believe they are the higher forms, they are the creators of us, right? So through this devotion or by praying, we can actually have another way of attaining moksha, right? And the third one that comes is now the actions, that is the karma, right? What is karma? As I have mentioned earlier, karma is performing selfless action without attachment to the outcomes. As Krishna said, there is famous line said by Krishna, Karm karo, phal ki chinta mat karo. What does it mean? That Lord Krishna is saying us that we have to do our actions, like we have to do our work. And instead of worrying about the outcome, what we are going to get the result, we have to do our duties. And when we are bound to our duties, when we get off whatever the outcome may be, we are actually in the path of attaining moksha, because we have to perform selfless actions. It is not that we have to only think about ourselves, but we have to think about our loved ones, the people around us, the people who are around us, who are suffering, who are poorer than us. We have to give them our helping hands, because this is the only way how we can attain the moksha. Otherwise we will be in the life cycle, same life cycle, the birth, then death, then again rebirth. And if you want to get rid of this life cycle, we have to be selfless, we have to think about others also. Okay. And the last thing how we moksha can be attained is meditation, that is dhyana, which is contemplative practices that leads to inner peace and self-awareness. Through the meditation, our mind becomes calm, our mind starts to work, our mind gets the inner peace, and it gets the self-awareness. So when we practice meditation, this is also the last way how we can get or attain moksha. So these were the some of the ways how we can attain moksha. And what does moksha really represents? Moksha represents freedom from the worldly attachments, ego, suffering, allowing the soul to exist in the state of peace and eternal bliss. We have ahankar, that is the ego. We have attachments, that is the moh. And we have suffering, that is the karma or the pain, right? All these things are attachments. And when we get rid of all these things and we only focus on our soul to attain the moksha and eternal bliss or self consequentness, we are actually in the path of attaining the moksha. The all people with ego have always been seen that they are falling in the same life cycle. They are suffering from the higher creator. And all the people who are deeply rooted with the attachments like wealth or loved, etc., they are going to suffer the pain, because they are in the path of following all these things, desires, all desires which are not actually the way how we can get moksha. Okay. Now, let us come to the summary what we have learned through this video. First, attaining moksha is believed to bring about our eternal bliss, peace, right? Freedom from suffering and pain. We have pain, we have to get freedom from the pain, and moksha is the only way how we can get away from our pain. We have self-realization, understanding, and one's true nature. What is the self-realization? Self-realization is the realization of who I am. Everybody is a soul, and every soul that has been sent to earth has different purposes. And when we get to realize our purpose of our soul, we call it as self-realization. The fourth one is unity with the ultimate reality. We have to unite with the ultimate creator. And we have to, fifth one is we have to liberate from the cycle of birth and death. So attaining moksha gives us the liberation from the cycle of birth and death. So that was all about the moksha. And thank you so much for watching till the end. I hope through this video you have got the idea of what is moksha and why we should follow moksha, attain moksha, and what does moksha does and how powerful is moksha. So I hope through this video we have completely got a concept of what is moksha, and now you can get to practice all the things that have been said, which helps us to attain the higher form, that is moksha. Get rid of all the more, stop having ego, stop having attachment with the materialistic worlds. Just get rid of all the mores, just get rid of all your attachments, just get rid of all the things that you desire. Then you will see, you will get rid of this life cycle, you will get rid of this pain, you will get rid of this suffering, and you will get a higher consciousness and eternal peace. So thank you so much for watching till the end of the video, and we will meet again in another video with discussing more such spiritual topics in this channel. So thank you so much once again for sticking till the end.